Yes, welcome to the arena. I am your host, Mint Alpha Lotus. It's still only our second week of streaming, so we are, really working out a lot of technical difficulties and details here still. There's a lot to do, and I've been investing a lot of my time into making little updates to the stream, trying to change some things, add some things, improve the quality of stuff, and just kind of roll forward, improving everything a little bit each week. So as we improve things, there will always be some glitches that work their way into the system that we then have to hammer back out again. But that's the nature of technology. Right, so it's great to see you all here again this evening. I've been playing a lot of Magic this weekend, as you all probably well know. This weekend was the Win a Box event, and it was the first time I ever did it. It was because I've been streaming, I thought it would be an interesting challenge to myself, and I got absolutely blown out. I did it twice. The first time I built a mediocre deck. I didn't really open a whole lot of great stuff, built a fairly mediocre deck, and got hammered. And then the second time I built a little bit of a better deck. I still didn't open anything truly shockingly amazing, and I got one win. But I lost almost all my games to just drawing poorly. And the really big challenge of those box events is you have to open really well, and then you have to draw really well. You have to curve out, and you have to make no mistakes whatsoever, because the caliber of people who tend to play in those events is very high. Like, they are expensive to enter. A draft is 1,500 gems. Those are 6,000 gems to enter. So the average players aren't entering those events as much as drafts. And yeah, I just got very, very unlucky. Those events, as I've been saying, are a bit of a slot machine. So I will be posting those videos to both my YouTube and my Twitch in the very near future, I think. So you should definitely, if you want to check out how I did and the sort of things that I picked in my sealed packs, I would recommend maybe subscribing to either my Twitch, YouTube, following me there to get updated on when those get posted. I'm hoping to get them out either today or tomorrow. But today is a brand new day, and we are going to move into some draft. The previous draft that we did, we went 5-1 on stream, and then I picked up another win off of stream. But again, had a couple of really challenging hands. I got run over in one game because I had a hand that it's one of those I could have kept it, but maybe not, and probably shouldn't have. But yeah, I got absolutely run over. And the other one, man, crazy reversals. But yeah, my Win a Box had a game that had just the most absolutely insane reversals I think I've ever played, back and forth and back and forth. That game could have went either way until opponent ripped a Cosmogrand Zenith off the top. And there's no beating that, especially when you're drawing a lot of land. All right, so let's get into a draft today. Let's start this one up and see how this goes. What are we going to get today? I mean, I've been building a lot of decks around white and black. Sometimes with green thrown in. I would love to get a really, really nice pick one, pack one here. But we'll see what we open. The Athros Titanic God Core is not a really good first pick. No, that's... In fact, this is not what I would call, like, really a fantastic a pack in general. This is pretty blah, I would say. I mean, the Psionicist might be the best pick in the pack, but like the Star Breach Whale is probably much more functional. Memorial Team Leader is not that great. Survey Mechan, you really got to build a deck around that. Focus Fire is okay. Cryogen Relic's quite good. I don't know. Maybe we just take the Wedgelight Rammer and call that a day. We're not taking the God Core. That's completely unplayable. Not a ton of great in commons either. Yeah, I mean, the Psionicist is probably the strongest card, but again, it has to go into a deck where you're double spelling. So the Rammer is at least, okay, well, we're getting a payoff here. I mean, the Dual Sun Adepts is a nice second pick. Broodguard Elite can be good. The Darkworker Drone's all right, but yeah, Terrapact Intimidator is a fantastic card. I don't know. I like probably should be moving into red here and pick the Intimidator. But I think I'm just going to stick in white because our first pick was white. Not to say that it's, you know, we should probably be staying open here, but maybe cutting off white because there's nothing else really fantastic in white in this pack. And maybe cutting off white is the way to go. I mean, you know, also there's really a case to be said for Elite or the Intimidator. I mean, here, like, we could potentially do like a Boros artifact deck. That might be worthwhile. Let's try that. Wow, okay. Pulsar Squadron Ace, Rayblade Trooper, Whipblade. We're already getting punished for moving into red. There's a Gene Pollinator in green, so that's fantastic. Red also has some great cards, but I don't know. I think I might just take the Rayblade Trooper. But yeah, Pulsar Squadron Ace, also a really, really good pickup. I'm going to take the Trooper and see where that leads us. Yeah, the Enhancer, definitely pickable. The Debris Crusher is a fantastic card. Pollinator is good. Worm is good. Bombard and Orbital Plunge are fantastic. But yeah, I mean, this pack is just, like, everything in here is great. Mental Modulation. Dark Endurance is the only thing I probably would not pick. Everything here is fantastic. Okay, so Sammy is not amazing. There's also Radiant Strike. I mean, Sammy could potentially wheel. That's something that we could see wheeling. The Radiant Strike is probably a much better pickup because it's way more flexible. Sammy's not a great card on her own, and I mean, it's a mythic, but it's already been passed a couple of times. Somebody might just rare draft it, but I feel like we're probably way better off with the Radiant Strike and then staying open for a second color in case something else comes along. I mean, like, the greenhouse is not that great, but I mean, there's a ton of good blue here. Specimen Freighter is a fantastic card. Oh, wow, another planet. An Infiltrator? Okay. Depressurize is good. Another Gene Pollinator. I mean, blue has been quite open, so I don't know if we just maybe take the Infiltrator and see where that goes. I mean, there's nothing else that great here. Like, the Dockworker Drone is good, but I feel like the Infiltrator is a much better card. And blue has been pretty open. Green is just bonkers open here as well. Focus Fire, Weftblade Enhancer, both great cards. I'm going to take the Focus Fire. Yeah, I mean, rather than take the higher casting cost card, I think that's probably the way to go. Remnant Elemental, I'm not that sold on. Mental Modulation's okay, so maybe we'll take that. I'm definitely not taking the Breacher. The Silencer can be all right, but yeah, I mean, it's not terrible. Nice little trick that enables double spelling, which again would have been nice if I had picked up the double spelling payoffs, probably. Well, let's grab that. Mouth of the Storm, fantastic high-end payoff here. Lurgwife or Cosmoquoif is completely unplayable. Cryo Shatter is a fantastic card. I mean, the fact that there's Cryo Shatter and a Mouth of the Storm here leads me to think that blue is probably a good place to be. So let's grab that. And now the Psionicist Wield, and the Whale is here too, but I'm going to grab that because we do have some cheaper payoffs here. Bright Spear Zealot is probably where we want to go because, again, it's a double spell and we have some payoffs for that. I think we can scratch the Intimidator because that's probably not where we're going to end up. Wow, okay. I don't want another Mental Modulation necessarily, but I will take an Enhancer to get some counters, +1/+1 counters, and it's just a nice card on its own. I mean, it's a little bit high-end, but if you can warp that in for 3 and get some +1/+1 counters, then you're looking quite all right. So I haven't played Azorius yet in this format, and I'm not exactly sure like how that's going to play out. Like, the archetype for Azorius in Edge of Eternity. Oh, wow, okay. An Ilvoid Lightjammer? Not, you know, not great, but it's a good trick in case we pick up something that needs to be protected, and I guess we get to rare draft here. That's all right. Moonlit Meditation. I feel like I probably want to take that and just have some fun with it. Reroute Systems is not a card that I have drafted yet. We can potentially create some more tokens. I mean, yeah, like the only other thing I'd take here is probably Radiant Strike, Lost in Space. But this just seems like a lot of fun if we can get some payoffs for it. Right now, we don't have any way to generate any tokens. Zookeeper Mech in red, that's quite nice. Rescue Skiff is a fantastic card. Unravel is not too bad. I think the Rescue Skiff is probably where we want to be here. Again, it's a bit of... Oh, Starfighter Pilot. Yeah, we need some more 2-drops, to be quite honest. That is, I think, much better. The Operative could be good, but I think... Yeah, let's get the Starfighter Pilot out. We need some lower end stuff in a deck where we're planning on 2-dropping. Loading Zone can be a good card in the right deck. The Gale Blade, maybe? Gale Blade looks like the... Oh, wow, there's another Might Form Harmonist here. I just got one of those in my sealed, and it was very effective. I think the Gale Blade probably... It's, you know, it's an okay 1-drop. If you get it early on, that's good. I can't believe, yeah, this was both passed. I guess, again, like, green is probably pretty open. West Servandum, amazing. Amazing card. For somebody in Orzhov. Nothing really here that is mind-blowing. I think probably the Shieldmate. Again, a card that could help us double spell. We do need to draw a little bit of, or draft a little bit of card draw here, because that will help us with double spell. Emergency Exit is fantastic. Nanoform Sentinel is not that playable, but yeah, the removal is good. Dockworker Drone would be okay, and so would the Savior. I mean, the Savior definitely helps with some double spelling mechanics, but here I think I've just got to take the removal. Cryo Shatter now? Absolutely. Yep. That's the only thing for us. It's not a great pack. The Saw Ship is probably the best thing here, and that's arguable in my opinion. We'll take that. Wow, Rakdos. Okay. I mean, is that something we can splash, maybe? I don't know. I'm going to draft it because I don't think I want to play an Unravel, and I might be able to splash that, and I do have a number of artifacts. A download is exactly what we were looking for. That's amazing. Much better than anything else here. That's a snap pick. Reroute Systems wield. Interesting. But I think we probably want the Lost in Space. Oh, actually, I mean, that's a nice cheap removal for low-end creatures, I guess. And it again, helps with the double spell payoff. And we got an Unravel. Okay. I can't complain about that. The Breacher, probably not something I'm going to play, so I'm just going to rare draft the Landing Zone. Starport Security is totally playable. Not a great card, but totally playable. As a nice cheap 1-drop. Tanuki is nice. This pack has like literally nothing for us. Oh no, there's a strike. What is this? It's an Eldrazi? Oh yeah, but you have to pay colorless mana for this, I think. I think that's a bit of a trap. Are we going to play the Radiant Strike is the question, though. We already have one. I'm going to draft this because I don't know exactly how it works, I'll admit. And we'll see. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. A Thrumming Hivepool got passed. And the rare is missing out of this as well. And the other rare is a possibility technician. Okay, yeah, no, I'll take the Hivepool. That is a card that gets out of control. The Mechan Assembler would be unbelievable if that were to wheel. I doubt it will, but if we can wheel the Mechan Assembler... No, because that's not an artifact. But yeah, I mean, you can't pass a Hivepool. Whew, Ice Till. Wow. Deafening Silence. Each player can't cast more than one non-creature spell each turn. That would not work well with our deck. Here, let's see. We're at a 3.0 curve. The Whale is a great card. The Scroll is a fantastic card, but we only have 2 land. Seam Rip is good. I feel like I'm probably going to grab the Starbreach Whale, because that will help us smooth out our draws in the early game. We definitely want to be surveilling. Like, this is a format where you really want to hit your land drops. Tractor Beam is absolutely awesome card. If you can cast that on things that have permanent effects, then you are laughing. There's another Servandum. Wow, Black and White would have been really good to be in here as well. Another Radiant Strike there. But I've got to grab that. Sculpting Blast looks like a good one. Steel Swarm Operator can be great. But yeah, I think the Sculpting Blast here. That's a nice little reversal spell. We've got a lot of playables. I mean, we're going to have to make a couple of cuts here, which I don't think will be all that difficult. I mean, we might cut the Rammer. The Navigator, that can be all right. I think maybe for double spelling, we want to grab the Exosuit Savior, though That's a good question. I mean, we kind of need more 2-drops, I feel like. The other one has more synergy. An Emissary Escort. Okay. And that is a Celestial Colonnade. These are both mental cards. I don't have a lot of time here. Robot Soldier Spacecraft. So I think we take the land, because we have so many playables. Survivors. Specimen Freighter is a great card. Don't feel like this is a Lux Knight Captain deck. I feel like the Freighter is probably a better card. That is a very big threat. Wow, Sammy's Curiosity on pick 9. The Sentinel, probably not going to play, but we'll put it in the sideboard. Okay, the Assembler. Yeah. We're looking really good here. Yeah, we definitely want to grab that. Now, I mean, we're very, like, a lot of what we have here is very high-end. Command Bridge? No. I mean, I'm just going to toss that. I do love the art of these things. The Lost in Space is a great pickup for pick 12. So I feel like we may have been in a pretty decent spot here. Cryologist is not going to make the cut. So we got to make like 6 cuts here. I don't know what we're going to do, to be quite honest. This is pretty exciting. We'll probably remove the Weftblade Enhancer because it's not really that sort of deck. And we do have so much top end here. How many artifacts did we say we have? We've got 8 artifacts, so that's quite a lot for the download, or for the Mechan Assembler. That's all right. We've got the Hivepool to be spitting out tokens, which is also fantastic. Yeah, I don't, like, it's one of those things where, like, I kind of almost want to I want to splash in Rakdos, but I don't think that's even correct. First time you create 1 or more tokens each turn, you may instead create that many tokens, a copy of Enchanted Permanent. Copy of Enchanted Permanent. Oh. So you can enchant like a Starbreach Whale, And then, okay, that's kind of nuts. You can start, yeah, okay. Or Mouth of the Storm. That's pretty broken. Now, I don't think we have like a ton of outlets for creating tokens. I mean, we've got the Hivepool. That with this is, okay, no, I mean, we do. Okay, we've got a lot of ways. Okay, so that's not one of them. Create one. Oh, yeah, I mean, that is also a way to do it. Sculpting Blast. We've actually got some decent stuff here for Moonlit Meditation. That's kind of exciting. So let's see what payoffs we have. We have the Psionicist, but we don't really have a whole lot of, like, playing our second spell each turn doesn't give us a whole lot of bonuses. I mean, I think we cut the Starport security here. We don't want a ton of low end. Our curve is 3.2, which is really not that bad, realistically. The Starbreach Whale comes in on 2, and we are very excited to play it on 2. We still need to make 4 more cuts. 2 or more. So let's see if... Yeah, so not a whole lot of payoffs to double spelling, which I mean, I think we can cut that. Like, realistically, we just need to survive in order to get into more of the later game. And I mean, we do have this creature land, which is an absolutely fantastic creature land. Again, it's pretty high end. Takes 5 to activate it, but flying and vigilance 4/4 when you are top decking, that's, yeah, I mean, you can attack with it and then still continue to cast, which is all right. Tractor beam is incredible. Yeah, cast on the right creature. If something has, like, you know, a permanent effect, like the Sammy Ship's Engineer, if you can grab a Sammy Ship's Engineer and then start tapping your own creatures, you're in the money, let's say. Still need to cut 3 cards. Wow. Don't really want to cut anything here. I think we need to cut some 3s. So Zealot can probably go. Let's see what we have for... I mean, it's not a terrible curve. What do we have for removal interaction stuff? We got that and that. This. I mean, that's technically... That's kind of a trick. I mean, the Desculpting Blast, yeah. Mental Modulation, kind of a bit of a, yeah. Got this. So that's a lot of interaction. Cerebral Download is an Ancestral Recall that is 5 times the casting cost. Man, Ancestral Recall was just crazy. Flash Flying, sacrifices creature, draw a card. I mean, it's a good blocker. You can always block and then potentially sacrifice it as well. Don't know that I want to cut any creatures. I feel like it would probably be a much better idea to just cut some of the interaction maybe. Don't want to cut that. I definitely don't want to cut the hive pool. Mental modulation might be cuttable. Maybe unravel. I mean, do I really want to be taking turns off? But by the same token, I may not have early game plays. Lost in Space is a good tempo card. Yeah, the reroute system's probably good as a nice indestructible trick as well. I mean, Specimen Freighter can close out games even just with its mill effect. Milling 4 cards can be quite punishing, and it is a strong ship. I mean, it takes 9 to station it, but a deck like this I feel like might actually have a chance of doing that. Especially if we can go wide with something like a Mechan Assembler. And there's always the possibility of using the land to station it as well. Yeah. I mean, I feel like Unravel maybe. Disculpting Blast is a fantastic card, and it creates a token and an artifact, so it has a lot of synergy with our other cards. Maybe Lost in Space. That still gives us 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 interaction. And what is our curve looking like here? 3.3 is not bad. Mostly blue, which is good because our double pips are in blue. We don't have any double pips in white. So yeah. And a lot of our early plays are in blue as well. I feel like, you know, this deck... I feel like this deck might be quite viable. All right, well, let's try this. Yeah, let's give this a try. I really don't play a whole lot of blue and Azorius. I used to play Azorius in Constructed a long time ago, but it's not something that I've played a ton of in Limited, so I'm gonna have to get used to this. This is... I feel like this is okay. I mean, the Rayblade Trooper I'm not gonna get a ton of value out of. But opponent's on the play, so we get to draw a card, and we might draw into a 2-drop. Okay. I mean, reroute systems could really come in handy here, I guess. Slagdrill Scrapper is an all... Oh, wow. A Virus Beetle is pretty nice. That's a nice play. Question becomes, what do I want to drop? And I mean, I feel like it's probably the specimen freighter because opponent looks incredibly aggro. I'm not convinced I'm even going to get to that part. So if he attacks here, we are definitely destroying that. Not the greatest target in the world, but it gives us something to do. And I think we are gonna... actually... Yeah, we'll see what we have coming up here. I mean, I need to draw quite a bit more land. Those are not land. The emergency exit might be what we have to get rid of. Oh, I guess we can play the Rayblade Trooper out next turn. So, but I don't want to be missing land, so I've got to drop that emergency exit. And yeah, we'll draw into the Cryo Shatter. Though, I mean, I think we have to bottom both of them because we need to go looking for land. Yeah, let's do that. It's too bad, but there we go. Definitely want to hit that Mechan Assembler. Okay, if opponent's just playing a nutrient block, then I'm alright with that. More land. That's what we want to see. Okay, so let's get out the Trooper. Now, does he have a Plasma Vault? No, he does not. So that's alright. If he attacks in, I don't think I'm going to block because, yeah, that's fine. I'll just take it. Okay, he's going to bolt me anyway, but this way it gets rid of one of his cards, so that's alright. Wow, Embrace Oblivion, alright. And I do get a token, so that's okay. Oh, Moonlit Meditation, where were you a turn ago? There's nothing to play it on anyway, I suppose. So let's get that out. Opponent's at 23. We don't really have anything that we can play. So I think we'll just attack for one, hold up. I mean, we've got a Desculpting Blast that we can use to get a drone token. Wow, okay. The Voidborn is a nice play. Do I just want to return that and tempo him? To be quite honest, I kind of do. Because unless we draw some more land, I feel like we might get run over anyway. No, actually, I guess if we draw into land, which we did, now we can play out... I think I'm going to play out the Star Breach Whale. Because if he has removal for that, totally okay with that. And we do want to survey more. So that's an artifact creature, which next turn we can play... Next turn we can play the Mechan Assembler, and then the turn after that we can start going off. The Psionicist... So if we play the Psionicist, 3... Now we need a little bit more mana, don't we? Okay, let's do this. No attacks. Yeah, I think here we just play the mech and assembler and hold up. I guess we can attack with the whale. Yeah, that's a free attack. Opponent must have some pretty hefty cards in their hand. They've got 3 cards. They either have all land or they have something that is going to come down and be devastating. Another Voidborn. All right. He's going to attack in. And that is warped in. I don't really feel like that, you know, I have a lot of need to block that. So, I mean, here we can play this on the assembler, or we can play it... I mean, if we get any more artifacts, we can really start going off and going crazy wide with the assembler, but this way... Actually, let's play it on the whale. We can do this. Infiltrator's all right. Tractor beam. Yeah, I think if we have the tractor beam, we can start attacking with everything. Opponent's got 7, 8 land. Here comes the Voidborn. Don't really feel the need, just in case he has something that triggers with Void. Can we play this and then 2? Yeah, if we play it... Yeah, we have 5 mana, so we have to play it this way. Do that, and then we'll take this. And then we will hit for a stupefying amount. I mean, I think we just discard the infiltrator. And it doesn't really matter anyway. Opponent explodes. Alright, well that was a victory. We definitely got our nice combo off of creating additional tokens. The Star Breach Whale provided us with an absolutely ridiculous amount of value there. Especially when we got a second one into play. That was kind of nuts. I wasn't expecting to have something like that happen. But, I mean, that was why we drafted the way we did. So, Mech and Assembler, I mean, we could have probably tried to copy the Mech and Assembler and then started going really, really wide. But I was a little worried that opponent had the Rakdos Sweeper, which is the Mutiny card, or maybe even the Extinguisher Battleship. And the Mech and Assembler is a 4/4, so Extinguisher Battleship would wipe that out, whereas the Whale is 5 toughness. So I'm not sure what opponent was trying to do. I feel like they had something in their hand that was triggering, like it had some sort of void payoff, and that was why he was attacking in. But to take 2 damage, I was perfectly happy to take 2 damage. All right, let's do another one. Okay, I mean, this is totally acceptable. Hivepool? Yeah, I mean, I think this is great. Let's, we'll play out the Colonnade first and get that into play. And then we can either play the Navigator or the Shield Mate. I might even play the Shield Mate. We'll see what opponent plays here. Expansionist. Okay, no value off of that for him. I think I'm going to play the Shield Mate because it trades nicely with that Expansionist. Yep, still trades nicely. If opponent's got a trick, I am more than happy to... Okay. I mean, we really just want... Oh, Halia. Wow. That's a nice card. We want to get rid of that immediately, if not sooner. I think here we just play the Navigator and hold up the Focus Fire in the case that he attacks with Halia. That thing can go off so big. I mean, we had that in our... Nice. Codecracker Hound's a great play. Gains him some life. And yeah, I mean, if we're not careful, we'll get run over here. So yeah, we want to Focus Fire this. Excellent. So glad that's gone. That was a little nerve-wracking. Not gonna lie. Let's, I mean, as much as I'd like to warp this in, I think that I'm actually just going to play it. Yeah. Where to put it is the question, I think here. Don't really see that the reroute systems will be the most effective thing in the world at this point. I think I'd rather keep like the Radiant Strike. I mean, opponent's got ostensibly 5 mana at this point. Are they going to, yeah, be in a situation where they want to... Yep, that's a good one. Station Monitor is a fantastic card. I wish we could have picked up one for this deck. He's going to continue to... Oh, nice. All right. We are getting closer and closer to that lovely... Yeah, so the Station Monitor has a static effect. And that needs 1 more mana. Hey. I mean, here we probably just hold up and see what opponent's going to do next turn. If we can get to 1 more mana and get out that Hivepool, then we are looking really good. Opponent can't attack in all that effectively. Don't really want to use like my Cryo Shatter on or Radiant Strike on a 1/1 token, or Cryo Shatter is no use on the Station Monitor. Oh, take 1 damage. Specimen Freighter. Wow, what a great play. I mean, we can play both out again next turn, so that's all right. And if he taps to station that thing, we are going to Radiant Strike that Station Monitor like crazy. Yeah. Or actually, I guess we just... let's Radiant Strike the Specimen Freighter, because I don't want that to get out of control and start milling me. Absolutely do not. Well, here we go. Hivepool. If I can untap with the Hivepool, we'll be in a really good situation, but I mean, opponent likely has a Radiant Strike of their own. That's what it looks like. Yep. Survey Mechan. That's a good card. Sunstar Chaplain. Wow. Okay. Well, it's going to attack for quite a bit. Yeah. They've got some tapped creatures, which is good for them. Yeah, now I really wish I'd played that Cryo Shatter last turn, even just on the Hound. That would have been fantastic. I think here we just play out a bunch of creatures. No, we want to get out the yeah, Navigator first, then the Trooper. I think we just play it on there, and then we're going to do the Codecracker Hound to potentially make sure that doesn't do anything funny, and then we just hold up. I mean, opponent is in a good spot. There's no question about that. Yep, they can attack in the air for 4. Is this? No, that is not an artifact. We can surveil and draw 2, which I think is where we want to be. Yeah, unfortunately, the whale... I mean, the whale is something we absolutely need. So let's... I am going to pitch the land, I think. Because I don't foresee it being that useful. These are not... Okay. It's awkward. I mean, I think we've got to start attacking in. Opponent can't really effectively block. I mean, if he decides to block, then... Yeah, that's good. We'll drop a land. Yep, that's all right. I'll take 2. Enter. Opponent's at the point where they can crack that Survey Mechan, but I don't see that they even see the need to do that. Do I want to chump or just trade? Probably better off just trading. Because otherwise, gonna, yeah, take more damage next turn. I mean, opponent is really pressuring the heck out of us here. Nope, that's getting bigger. 2 more. So let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 is 11. It's a lot of damage getting in. I think here we want to play the Psionicist and then play the Whale. Again, just to get some more blockers and some more attackers. I mean, we are going crazy wide here. Yeah, all right. I think the Specimen Freighter could help. I mean, it can bounce his blockers, which next turn we can get in for a lot. And we can play it quite cheap because of the Starfighter pilot. It'll be 4 mana to play. Let's keep it. I mean, it might not be the right play, but we'll keep it. Yeah, I think we'll just do that. It gives us some options anyway. Looks like opponent's got some interaction. We've got a lot of chumpers on the ground. We've got some blockers in the air. Reroute systems. All right, that's a good play. And focus fire. And he gets another token. But we draw a card. So yeah, that's definitely removed some of the... yeah, he's going to tap. All right. I think that's fine with us. So next turn we got 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18 coming in. Opponent can only do 5 currently. We've got nothing to block with. Okay, I'm at 1. He's at 21. Oof. Drew a bunch of cards. Yep. Okay, so can we play this and then for... Yep. We can do that. So we have 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20. 20. Serious? That's so close. So yeah, here I think we do this. Let's just get rid of that. And then we can play this. Get rid of those. I've got to hold some stuff back just in case. I think even that's probably too much. I mean, if he has a way to do... So that's 12, 13 damage? Yep, okay. Let's try that. Yep, he's gonna block one of them. Oh, no, it's... Yeah. Alright. So he's at 9. If he has any way to do 1 damage to me, we are in a lot of trouble. But holding 4 creatures on the board is... I feel like we were very... probably very conservative here. I mean, white-blue is not good for direct damage. It's not like he can just kind of rip a spell here and wreck me, so let's see what he wants to play. I mean, he might be able to suck some stuff back up to my hand, but I do have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Another flyer on the board. Got a way to do quite... a lot of ways to do quite a bit of damage here. Our artifact creature land can, yeah, can help. Okay, Banishing Light on the whale, ostensibly. Yep. Oh, wow. Okay. Starport Security. Yep. That gets him a token. So that's all right. So we've got 8. So he blocks there, blocks there. 8, 9, 10. How many cards? 16. So I think attacking with everything is probably enough to get it done. So 3. That's 11. Yeah. I mean, he might have something that he can do to even double spell and get rid of a couple of my guys. Yeah. All right. Good game. Wow. That was crazy. And that brings us up to platinum. Wow, what a grindy, bonkers game that was. I'm going to have to go back and look at that again. That was a lot of damage. I mean, those double striking slivers, haste and double strike is kind of crazy. That is so much damage. That pool, yeah. That got it done. Okay. Wow. Yeah, I'm... my brain is a little scrambled after that. I'm going to take like a 2 to 3 minute break and just... I'll be right back. All right, yeah, that game was absolutely nuts. Very close. I needed to get a glass of water after that. Just kind of reset my brain a bit. I mean, we were going very, very wide there. We probably should have even been attacking in a bit more with the sliver tokens, especially because they did have double strike and could have traded. I think, yeah, we probably messed up there and needed to pressure the opponent a little bit more because the opponent was putting a ton of pressure on us. So, but you know, there you have it. Let's try another game. Yeah, that Thrumming Hivepool is nuts. That creature land is absolutely crazy as well. Right, so we're up in platinum now. This is definitely more of a grind. And to start out with platinum, I've got a hand that has one playable creature. But, I don't know, it's an okay one. We'll start, see how it goes. I mean, all we need to do is draw an island, and we can play pretty much all the rest of the stuff in our hand. We do have more islands than we have plains. Dauntless Drafter. So yeah, this guy definitely drafts a lot. InkwellLevitan. Lab ship. It's a good play. That is not an island, but if we can start attacking in with Starfighter Pilot, that's an island. All right. I think we'll just attack with the pilot, get some value off of that. Another island. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that. And then we will play out the Infiltrator. So we've had a pretty decent start here. I would say opponent might be on their back foot a little bit. Yeah, Galactic Wayfarer, good play. I think here we do this. We can tap the Wayfarer, get another card. All right. Cryo Shatter sounds pretty good. Draw that. I mean, unless opponent has a play here, we're going to get in for another 5 next turn. Cool. Okay. You know, I think we play the Colonnade, we Cryo Shatter. Let's do that. All right. Let's once again get in for a lot. Don't want that. That's much better. I think we just toss the land, perhaps. Okay. That sounds good. And we will warp the whale. Really don't want any more land right now, so we're getting a ton of value here. That is 4 lands. Okay, someone's gonna lost in space me. Engineering is good. And a scout lander. Yep. Opponent definitely got some serious value off that engineering. No, I think that's fine. Okay, this turn, play the whale. I don't want either of those. And I'm going to attack in. Honestly, don't really want that either, to be quite honest. It's, I mean, one card right now is not very useful, so let's keep digging for something even better. Mouth of the Storm is quite nice. I will, however, I'm going to drop the Infiltrator, because I don't see that being that valuable currently. If he wants to trade, I am all for that. Yep. So now I'm kind of sad that we dumped so many land. But I mean, we still have 7 more in our deck. Okay, Larval Scoutlander. Let's grab that. We'll keep pressuring opponent. Codebreaker Hound is totally acceptable. Great card, but it's not going to block my flyers. Okay, he's going to station. Worm is good. That's a good play. Going to finish stationing with the worm. Oh, 3/3. And I think we're going to make that go away. All right. So if we draw into a land, we're going to play Mouth of the Storm, and that's not a that's not a land. Like, I don't know what the last card in the opponent's hand is, but I feel like we can probably pressure them here. Let's do that. And I mean, we can get in for 7 now. Wow. A crazy play. That could be the end of us. Yeah, that's the end of us. Amazing play. Yeah, we were just a little too aggressive there. He's going to use his lander token and get in for 10, for 12. Yeah. Another good game. Ha! Wow. Didn't see that coming at all. Yeah, exacties. Okay, so yeah, I mean, maybe we were just a little too aggressive there, but I did not see the siege ship impact thing happening. That was very unpredictable. Probably should have just held back with one of those, and yeah. But no way to know. I mean, that's magic. Didn't have enough pressure on the board. It's, I mean, this has been Edge of Eternities. It's been these absolutely wild, insane reversals of fortune that just one card is enough to really blow out the game. Okay, opponent's on the play. Sammy's Curiosity, that's a good one. And I think here we just hold up the reroute systems. Yeah, it's so funny. I mean, I thought I had that game, but you just never know. We had so much value there. We had so much going for us, and yeah, opponent just surprise play and beat us down from 12 in one turn without having really very much on the board. Bioengineered Future. Okay. That's not what I would call a great card. Oh, I should have played my Starbreach Whale last turn. Still kind of shook after that incredible reversal loss that I had there. That's okay. We can play it this turn if need be. Okay. Opponent's going to plunge that. I'm totally okay with that. We just don't have a whole lot going on here, unfortunately. That's kind of too bad. Let's play this now. See what we can see. Because we definitely can't dirtle through another 2 planes. That's absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, let's get rid of those. Yep, Siege Ship Agrarian is a good play. Coming in as a 4/4. That's alright. We can tractor beam that. Yeah, I mean, I think that's actually the perfect answer for it. But everything we have is, still can't play anything. Alright. Cryo Shatter is great for a Siege Ship Agrarian, though, I must say. I mean, it'll still be a good chump blocker at some point. If it keeps getting bigger like this, it'll end up being, yeah, something that he can block with. So. Drake's Fate Maker, good play. Six five. Wow. Yeah, opponent is going off really big. Okay, Colonnade. That's all right. To do that, we will Tractor Beam his Fate Maker. And, yeah, we'll just hold up. I mean, like, we can eventually get this whale down and start attacking. Probably. Oh, nice. Thalamat. Destroy target non-land permanent. Ooh. Okay. So he's going to be able to deal with my Cryo Shatter, unfortunately. Yeah. And now we're in a lot of trouble. Now we're in a lot of trouble. Yikes. Okay. Desculpting Blast will absolutely help. But we still can't play anything, can we? No, we can't. Okay. Okay, so we can draw 3 cards, draw into a land. I'm sure we're going to draw into a land with 3 cards. And then play that. A Mouth of the Storm is okay. And we've got the mana to play it, so that's all right. So it's going to be a race, for sure. And opponent's already very much winning. Nice. Cool. Okay. Opponent's gonna go for more land and then play out the Agrarian, which is a little odd, but you know, there you go. So let's do this. I think next turn we might actually be able to deal with that. Finally, if we can get down the Psionicist, get down the Rayblade Trooper, and then we can focus fire, then we can potentially take out that Siege Ship Agrarian, which would be really nice. I mean, we've got a 6/6 here with Ward 2. Opponent, I think, probably has all of the land out of their deck by now. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, there's got to be some good stuff in their hand. But, yeah, we can play out some blockers. Start trying to attack in with Mouth. Ooh, Atmospheric Greenhouse. Okay. That's a good one. he's going to station it. Yeah. Okay, we've got a land. That's all right. So we definitely play the Psionicist. Yep. And then we play the Whale, I think. Don't need that. That is not going to be helpful either. So we'll keep going. I'll hold these up. Opponent's checking out our creature land. We're going to hit for 7, which will put him at 14. Mouth of the Storm coming in kind of clutch here. The Rayblade Trooper we can potentially warp even next turn. Alright, so I mean we've got 9 possible damage here that that we can do. Yep. Zero-point ballad. Wow. That is so backbreaking. Yeah, that was, oh my Lord God. Okay. That is game over. I was not expecting that. I guess opponent just decided they were gonna play that. That's a game over. This is what I'm saying. This format is just literally opponent plays one card or we play one card and that's the game. And this is literally the game. So yeah, I mean, we probably could have given our 6/6 indestructible and maybe held out, but the focus fire would have been useless. We would have been trading. This is absolutely over. All because opponent had one card in their hand and we couldn't pressure them early. That's unfortunate. That, again, I mean, that was so unexpected. If we could have got in for a little more damage earlier on, they would not have been able to do that to us. It's too bad. I mean, that game was definitely reversing. The Seed Ship Agrarian early on is an incredible pressuring mechanism. Yeah, I absolutely thought we were going to be fine there, but clearly we were not. The number of sweepers in this format, kind of nuts. This is not a keepable hand. Literally nothing that I can play in here. This is better. But arguably, I mean, it's literally the same cards, so, but just better land. We'll keep this. We'll dump the Mouth of the Storm because we're not playing that anytime soon anyway. And we'll see what we can do to... Oh, there we go. A Starfighter Pilot's all right. Shepherd is a great card. And we will get our pilot down on the board. Oh, it's going to banish my Starfighter Pilot. That's a pretty unexpected move. Don't know that there's even anything we can really do about that. Okay, Lightsmith. It's all right. Well, I think... I mean, I feel like we want to grab that, because if we can start double spelling, which I think we can, next turn, we can start drawing some cards. Grab that. It's the Azorius battle here. Alright, Starfield Shepherd's alright. Ooh, a mechan assembler, eh? I mean, I feel like this is probably the play to start getting some tokens out. And next turn, I mean, we can... Yeah, next turn we can go off with the rammer if they don't destroy that assembler. And we can draw a card with Cryo Shatter and the rammer. Honor is good play. Relic is also a good play. Wish we had gotten a relic. That would have been nice. Does opponent have some sort of removal for my assembler? No. Okay. Alrighty. That gives us an opportunity here. I think we're just going to get in for 4. Okay. I was drawing a lot of cards, but that's all right. We still got a Radiant Strike, which is great. He has 7 cards in hand to our 1. And he's going to probably wipe the board, I guess. Does this look like a exile everything happening? No, just a rescue skiff to bring it back. Okay. That's alright. A Gale Blade. Cool. He's going to station it for 1 and another one. Okay. I mean, that's good news for us. I think we want to just play to the board as much as we can. We'll draw another card. Yep, our own Gale Blade. Then we will... I don't... Well, no. That is of no use, I don't think. Now the question, I guess, is do we want to... Yeah, we'll station that and get in for, like, another damage, I guess. Next turn we can potentially double spell again. We're very wide here. Our mechan assembler is coming back next turn. A lot of threats. But, I mean, we could see another board wipe. With everything that we have down on the board, that wouldn't be that surprising. Cryo Shatter, alright. And another Cryo Shatter. That's okay. And a Breacher. Yep. We do have enough to do Mental Modulation and activate our 4/4 land. Specimen Freighter is probably even more mental, however. It doesn't let us double spell, but we do get in for what, 8? That's kind of nuts. Oh yeah, and it's the spacecraft, so we get another robot token. Alright, that's cool. Opponent scoops. Okay. That one was a little tough to lose, especially after we grabbed the guy that gives us cards. I mean, that was a great play there. So let's see, what are we? 3-2 now? 3-2 is not terrible for a deck that is not particularly fantastic, and the fact that we probably should have gotten at least one more win there. So I think with, what do we have? 25 minutes left. I'm going to maybe switch over and open some cards. I do love opening cards. This draft has been a very fun one. Again, I don't play a whole lot of blue, so it's been kind of cool getting into the blue and yeah, just seeing like how that works. I do wish that I'd played a little more cautiously. Man, some of these cards are just like, I love the look of some of these things. Warping Whale, absolutely crazy. Deafening Silence, so good. The like, I'm a huge fan of the 1950s classic sci-fi and the crazy like pulp sci-fi covers that they've done for these cards. I wish that you could see them properly when you moused over them. They turn back into classic arena looking cards, but yeah, it would have been nice to see the titles a little bit bigger. Either way, let's open some cards. And yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to have to end the stream a little bit early today. We'll see how we're feeling after we open some cards. This has been a crazy day of playing a ton of Magic. I think I've been playing Magic on Arena ever since I woke up this morning. And that's a little bit nutty. I don't know that I've played this much Magic, but again, one of the points of me doing all of this streaming was to try to force myself to play a little bit more Magic, play it a little bit more aggressively, and learn a little bit more about the sets, do more drafting, and yeah, just kind of draft more cards. It's been kind of fantastic. Like, if I go back and look at my set collections, like Final Fantasy I did quite a lot with, but before that, well, I just kind of jumped back during Tarkir, so I definitely was not, there was a few sets here that I was not that engaged with. I played a lot up until, let's see, yeah, it was like probably around Brothers War, I think, was when I stopped like really aggressively playing. And yeah, Tales of Middle Earth is not something did I play that? I guess I played it a little bit, yeah. I always get it confused with Adventures in the Forgotten Realms because they're similar, if not different. Gary Gygax, I guess, based a lot of what he was doing on what Tolkien had done. But yeah, Strixhaven, I absolutely love that set. Forgotten Realms was good, and then played quite a bit during Midnight Hunt and Crimson Vow, but found myself dropping out because Azorius control decks were really popular back then, and sometimes even unranked games would take like 45 minutes to grind out an unranked game just to try to get your wins in for the day. That was something that was just a little bit too much for my schedule. It's nice now that games are a little bit more quick. All right, so let's jump over to the card cam. And here we are at the card cam. All right, so let's get this into place. Again, I need a little bit of a better solution. Every day I try to work on how the stream looks and what sort of technology I'm using. As of today, now I have my Twitch and YouTube subscriber count in the corner. So I'm trying to figure that stuff out. It's still not all that attractive. It's not where I want to be. But for having streamed for a week and just using the stuff that I know and stuff that I have available to me, I feel like, you know, we're doing quite well. Can't complain. All right, so what did we get? So first off, we got a sliver token, which I think is actually the thing that I have the least number of tokens of. Slivers, I've got tons of robots, tons of landers, probably because landers, like a lot of things, generate lander tokens, whereas slivers are only generated by that hive pool. So maybe that's why it's not printed quite as much. But yeah, we got a gene pollinator, which I'm always happy to see. I wish I could have found a few of these today. In my sealed deck, I was definitely hurting for fixing and just hurting for mana in general. And a gene pollinator is a card that you always love to see. It's something that it taps for mana of any color, and it's, you know, like a land war elf that has to tap something else, but then generates a mana of any color. And it's a 1/2, so it's a little more survivable, which is kind of cool. Another fantastic card. This pack is quite good so far. A Bombard deals 4 damage to target creature as an instant, a classic red spell. It's like a lightning bolt that costs 2 more mana but does 1 more damage, and that is quite good. That is something that I would love playing in a deck, but you never see them. They get picked very, very early, I feel like. This card is not very good in limited. Dark Endurance. Spell costs 1 less to cast if it targets a blocking creature, and target creature gets +2/+0 and gains indestructible until end of turn. So that's, you know, not a card that I would ever pick very highly in a draft. It's something that I just pass and pass and pass and pass. This is another thing that we picked today, but it's not something I'm ever really thrilled to pick. It is definitely something that you can use to help you enable double spelling, but it's a flash equipment that when it enters, attach it to target creature you control, and that creature gains hexproof until end of turn, and equipped creature gets +1/+0. You re-equip it for 3, which is actually a reasonable equip cost. Some of the equipment in this set is not what I would call particularly playable. Yet another card that I love to see is Sammy's Curiosity. 1 green mana, you gain 2 life, create a lander token. That's incredible. It works in so many different synergies. It works in a double spell synergy. It works in a artifact synergy because of the lander token. It works in Void because you can blow that lander token on the next turn in order to enable Void when something leaves the battlefield. And yeah, just a great card. Like the life gain, I've used this with Halia in order to, like, I will warp Halia in or play her, and then I'll play a Sammy's Curiosity. That's the 3 life because Halia gains 1 life for herself, and this gains 2 more. And Halia says, when you gain 3 life in a turn, you draw a card. That is incredible value. I mean, this is a card then that replaces itself in that sort of combo. And to warp Halia in and play this is only 2 mana. So you can do that on turn 2. And then turn 3, you can sack the lander token. And yeah, this is one that I'm not all that sold on. I don't really think that a Thawbringer is particularly great. Its stat line is okay. I mean, it's fairly aggressive. It's a 4/2. And for 3 mana, its effect is just not that thrilling. When it enters or dies, Surveil 1. It's okay. It's something that I would probably get rid of pretty quickly. The Red Tiger Mechan, again, the stat line is not all that great. 3/3 for 4 mana. Now it does have haste, and being able to warp this in on turn 2 is actually pretty effective. But I mean, there are 3/3s for 3 mana that are pretty much as effective as this. The nice thing about this is that it is an artifact. So if you have something that cares about artifacts entering the battlefield, then you can enter the battlefield on turn 2 and then enter again on turn 4. And that's quite good. But I feel like it has to be in the correct deck. It is also pretty aggressive. I mean, the fact that you can get it in on turn 2 leads to some nice aggressive plays, but it's, again, not something that I pick overly high. It's something that I would probably pick more highly if I had, an Artifacts Matter deck. This is a great little card. It is the Galvanizing Sawship. In terms of spacecraft, I find that this is a decent one. The fact that it's flying in haste and it stations for 3 makes it really very playable. I mean, it is 6 mana to get on the board, which is hefty, but 3 to station for a 6/5 and a 6/5 flyer with haste, that's, you know, that's quite good. This can be a surprise game ender because you can play it and then just attack with it, and all you need to do is station it for 3. This was one that has been a workhorse today in our draft, the Uthros Psionicist. Second spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast, and that's definitely been helpful. I thought that was going to win us the game that we lost, but again, we were probably just a little bit too aggressive. And then this card is absolutely incredible. The Monoist Circuit Feeder. 6 mana for a 4/4 flyer. When it enters, you can pump one creature X+X+0, and then minus an opponent's creature 0 - X. X is the number of artifacts you control. This thing is definitely a reverser. That enter the battlefield ability is incredible. Often you can remove something of your opponent's, and it's not like this set is hurting for artifacts, that's for sure. There's a lot of great stuff here. Now, this is something that we saw in the draft today, and I believe we passed it because, yeah, for 2, you can put a basic land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. In Limited, I don't feel like that's, you know, going to be something that's really, really very, very useful. Our rear is pretty decent, I would say. A loading zone, great for stationing. That's not a bad little card at all. It's, I mean, the fact that you can warp it in is pretty cool. So you warp it for 1, or you can play it for 4. If one or more creatures would be put on, or one or more counters would be put on a creature, spacecraft, or planet you control, twice that many of each of those kinds of counters are put on instead. So this is a great little stationing enabler. You can warp this out for 1 and then tap, say, like a 4/4, and it puts 8 counters on something. This is much more viable than the red thing that just puts 5 counters onto a spacecraft, you know, or anything that can be stationed, I guess, or a planet. This is actually viable, and the fact that it's an enchantment sticks around when you play it at 4 means that in the +1/+1 decks you're doing quite well. Yeah, I would definitely play this. And then this is another one that we saw today. It is essentially the Edge of Eternity's version of Chocobo Racetrack, but not necessarily quite as good. You can play it out on turn 2 for the warp cost, drop a land, and then get a 2/2 robot artifact creature token. That's all right. Or for 5 mana, you can get it just play it out, and then every time you play a land, you get a 2/2 token. I had one of these in a deck earlier today, and it was very effective. It would be great with the blue card that we have that generates artifacts every time you play out an artifact to the board, or to that blue thing that copies every time you get additional tokens, you can copy the thing that it is attached to. That would be crazy because you'd be getting, you know, more every turn. So like if you could put that enchantment on a Mechan Assembler and then start dropping lands, then you're getting more Mechan Assemblers every turn, which are spitting out more tokens. And yeah, you can just go off so wide in that situation. So yeah, I mean, that's the pack. Some cool stuff in there. Let's head back to our gaming screen. Fantastic. So, I mean, that was basically our day for today. We've only got a few minutes left to the stream, and I do need to cut out a little bit early today because my brain is just a little bit scrambled from playing tons of Magic. I don't have the endurance to play this much Magic in a day. I mean, I think I've played like 5 or 6 hours of different competitive drafts and things. It's been fantastic, but we're still kind of getting up to speed on playing this much Magic in a day. So let's try just like a standard game to go out on this stream because we've got about 10 minutes left. And if you like what I do, please like and subscribe. Follow me on both Twitch and YouTube and Instagram, TikTok. I am all over the place, and if you're liking this, then it's a great way to follow what I've been up to. Okay, well, this hand is a snap keep. Oh, it's on Giganta the Wellspring. All right. Let's do this, and we'll plot the Demonic Ruckus. Next turn, we will get down a Light Pause and put the Ruckus on him. Yeah, we're gonna scoop up that Symmetry Sage, and this game is over, I think. Oh, no. Yeah, we need to play another land. See what I mean about brain being a little bit scrambled? There we go. So, that. Next turn we can play another Sheltered by Ghosts, which will make us pretty much invulnerable, and we'll play the Giver of Ruins. We'll go get something to... Yeah, Dreadhorde Arcanist is... Oh my goodness. Okay, this is absolutely over. So get all the glitters, and then we'll play the Ethereal Armor, and then we'll get another enchantment. Hit opponent for 14-ish. You know, whatever. I do like this Auras deck because, I mean, these games last 1 minute and 15 seconds, which is kind of nice when you're just trying to get your wins in for the day or trying to finish your daily quests. It is a deck that allows you to kind of get through all that really, really quickly. Wow, we've got 8 wins today already. That is fantastic, and we have a lot of losses because of our win-a-box events. Yeah, I think, I mean, honestly, like, the win-a-box event comes back generally later on in the set as a non-collectors. You can win non-collectors boxes. I don't think I will participate in those, but it was fun for the collector's box because, like, unless they're giving away 2 non-collector boxes, it doesn't really feel that worth it. It's a lot of gems to enter. And, I mean, let's see what the gem count is. So it's 6,000 gems, which is like almost $40. And for a non-collector's box, you know, if you have to play a few times, probably not worth it. I mean, some of the bigger streamers entered that event like 20 times over the weekend and won like maybe 1-2 collector's boxes. One of my heroes kept pulling a lot of amazing cards, and like every video he posted, just great stuff. Paul Cheon, fantastic player, fantastic Magic player, great inspiration to all of us. Just a jovial guy on stream all the time. If you haven't checked out his stream, I would check that out. He's fantastic. The first time he entered that event, he got a pull from his sealed pool that, you know, I've never seen anything like it. He got a Cosmic Grand Zenith, a Ouroboros, and something else. But he could play all of them, and just insanity. Like those 3 cards, it was like 3 of the top cards with, you know, the highest win rates in the format. That, it's kind of hard to not win when you pull that high. Now, not to say, you know, Paul's a fantastic player, because, you know, he absolutely is. But man, like pulling that well really helps. I wish one day to get even one of those sort of 3 cards. That would be lovely. All right, so we've only got a few minutes here, and it has been a fantastic day of blasting through some draft with you guys, getting way more used to Edge of Eternities. When it first came out, I really fell into the spacecraft trap. Not to say the spacecrafts are bad, but my goodness, you can't have more than a couple of them in a deck, and they need to be the right deck, and you need to be able to curve them out correctly. And as we've seen time and time and time again, if people take time off to station spacecraft, they can really easily get run over, especially when the spacecraft comes out into play. If your opponent has some way to get rid of it, as there is a lot of removal in this format. You've just invested a turn into doing literally nothing, and your entire board is tapped. So if opponent gets in for 5 or 6 damage, I mean, that's over 25% of your life. That is devastating. And what are you going to do next turn? Like a whole lot of nothing, probably. All right, so I will be posting these videos after this event is, after my stream is over. So stay tuned for that. And if you missed the early part of it, then yeah, please go back and yeah, like and follow. We are here for the long run, and we are really loving what is going on with Arena and Edge of Eternities in general. I'm going to be doing like another live draft this weekend at my local game store because it has been so much fun. Love classic sci-fi. All right, so until next time, which is going to be Wednesday, this has been Mint Alpha Lotus telling you guys all to stay mint.